scope vision. The whole scene is being seen.
Mm-hmm.
So now when I can tell it, I can tie the individual pieces together and show you the way they work so they don't work on you no more.
Mm.
Don't none of us like being controlled, and when we see somebody outside of us is controlling us, we rebel by nature.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
And that's why they call Iblis the rebellious one. I'm not bowing down to no piece of hunk of clay. You got me tripping. You just got me trying to bow down to a goon. He ain't cut like me.
1 second, Chief. Somebody's asking if you have a PayPal. People want to bless you.
All I have is Cash App because I don't do this for money.
Okay.
If I did it for money, I had everything. Zelle, PayPal. I have it all, but I don't do it for money, so I just use the Cash App.
Okay. Thank you. And speaking,
I appreciate reciprocity.
Hmm.
Gratitude is appreciated and it amplifies the positive and benevolent energies of the efforts we put forth. So when somebody bless me, I don't turn it down, but my goal is not to get rich.
Yes, sir.
My goal is to get free.
Woo,
and when you free, you get your birthright.
Hmm.
But it ain't about freeing me as an individual, because as a emerging leader on the land, it's my responsibility to start informing as many other clans across clans as possible of the way that they trapped us and turned us against each other so we can break free collectively. Because once we realize what's going on, it's only going to take us a minute. Look, I posted on when the Black Job thing came up. And I posted on my Facebook, I said, if they ask me what I'm doing, giving all this information away for free, I'm telling them I'm just doing my black job.
My black job.
Then I had another post that said, my black job is gossiping, telling these gossiping sisters all of the dirt y'all did with just giving them receipts.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Telling all y'all business. As you know, once these gospel sisters get it, everybody gonna know what y'all did.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Hold on,
playing on the stereotype is something that we've been doing for a long time.
Mm.
That's how we started calling each other the N-word.
Mm.
Go back to Richard Wright. He had a book called Black Boy.
Mm-hmm.
And he tell you, we wouldn't say it in front of our mama or our daddy or none of our elders. But when we get down on the corner and ain't nobody around of us, we show how hard we is by calling each other nigga this and nigga that. That stuff don't bother me, what the pale face say. Right? So it gives you a context of how we was viewing the stereotypes.
Mm.
We always made fun of other people stereotyping us because it always gave us something to laugh at. You could think that I'm less than you because I'm humble.
Mm. I want to pause right here to tell Brother Tristan, thank you so much for blessing me and always being a great supporter of the show. A little later after you gave the blessing, God bless you, having a smile on you. You said, I need to get some sleep. Thank you. You said that I'm working too hard. Thank you. I feel like, and I do agree that I'm working hard. I just feel like it's so much happening. My desires for humanity, and humanity might not, they say humanity is a bad word, but people all across the globe to be free. That's my job. And so
what's the bad word about humanity?
Say it again. People say human means monster. I guess I need to look at
that's legalese.
Okay.
That's legalese. That's what the Khazarians, the Jews call 9 Jews.
Mm. Okay.
That's the Goyim. It's the Gulam.
Mm.
The Gulam is the one that's only animated through enchantment. It's conjure magic.
So my desire is to liberate humanity. So I keep going. I keep going. Sometimes I want to stop, but it's a little challenging when I know that we're right at the precipice of our deliverance, and I am going to get some rest. I am, but I know we're right there, Chief. I'm just don't know what to do. I don't know how we can get over. I know we're right at the precipice. We're right there, but how do we get over? And actually realize freedom. What do we do on our own? I'm tired of waiting on the white hats. They're doing a phenomenal job, and Trump and whoever's playing the character of Trump, or who.
You know the freest thing you can do?
What's that?
Live your life and walk in your divinity no matter what you're doing.
Okay.
You got to live your life. Soon as you realize that part, half of your job is already done. You got your life has a structure to it. You following your own book of life. If you keep following who you are and being true to yourself, if you fall off the right path, you're gonna stumble right back on it by being yourself. Right? It's like falling asleep on the wheel and you snap out of it and pull yourself back on the road. But as long as you walk in who you are and your purpose, that's the freest thing you can do. Be you. You got to free the mind by not putting any restrictions on what you are. Right? And then when you want to think from higher perspectives, ask yourself in your mind, because your concept of God is critical.
Okay.
At this point, because you got to ask yourself, what does God see when God look at the situations that's different as God than I see it as a human? Using your imagination, God can then translate the information so you can see what God's seeing, where you can understand it as a human to relate to other humans the information that God told you. And God will also give you references.
Okay.
That's why I'm the receipt king, because God keep telling me, look over here, look right here. Okay, what this say? Okay, remember that. Right? And this allows me to see more than the average Joe. Yes. I didn't know I was getting myself into this.
You didn't?
I thought I was just making me better because I wanted to be a better person. I wanted to be a good father to my children, a good man to whatever woman I'm with. I don't want to be no asshole.
Yeah.
But that's so natural. It flows so easy. Okay. So that takes work. It takes work when it comes so easy, because I'm not going to argue with a man, because we about to fight, so I might as well cut through the chase. Right? But he didn't want to fight. He just wanted to argue. I didn't know that, because my understanding is the argument is the prerequisite for the fight. I don't have time to tongue wrestle, so I'm just going to start the fight. Right? So I had to be instructed on the difference in gang banging and brain banging.
Wow.
Don't know anybody that want to argue with me. I'm not obligated to entertain that. I got a right to not talk. You can't make me talk. And people be like, oh, you act like you don't hear me. I hear you perfectly well. Then I recite back everything they said and say, but I don't got nothing to say. Well, why you ain't got nothing to say? Because that shit ain't got nothing to do with me.
I heard that.
You having an internal crisis that you're taking out on me.
Ooh-wee.
I'm not going to participate in that. I don't holler and scream at people unless they deserve it. I ain't did nothing to deserve that, so I'm not going to accept it. I'm going to look at you like you lost your man, because you ain't talking to me. You think you're talking to me, but I'm not hearing it as me. It's missing me every kind of way it can miss.
Miss me.
I heard everything you said, but that had nothing to do. I'm not internalizing none of that drama. That I'm not finished. I don't want to trauma bond with nobody.
Yeah.
We're not comfortable that the trauma bond relationship is the good relationship. I'm toxic. You don't love it over here. No, I'm not toxic. Don't want to be toxic. Don't want to be around toxic. Take your toxic ass to the toxic dump and dump yourself in it and leave me out that lane. That don't got nothing to do with me. I'm happy, healthy, and wholesome.
Yeah. Mm.
I would be toxic for. Dude, I'm the salve for the soul. If I can't help you be better than what you is, I don't want to help you.
I want to have nothing to do with them.
Nothing to do with it. My literature tell me that I got an age that says any and all righteous brothers and any and all righteous endeavors. It don't say I got to entertain anybody's bullshit.
Mm.
Nowhere in there. My mama never told me how. She told me I don't have to kiss nobody ass. I believe her because it ain't in my book of life where ass kissing is required.
Chief, you're hilarious as much as you are wise. Now,
You can't take this stuff too serious.
Hmm.
You got to take it a little, because if you take it too serious, when you really understand what I'm telling you, they look like us, but they not us.
Yeah.
You're going to feel like I felt, and that's not good.
Well, come break it down. What does that mean? They look like you're talking about the people that are in control, right?
Yeah, those satanic Jews.
They look like us, but they're not us. So they're brown complected. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
But they're not human. What are you saying?
I don't know what they is, but I know they ain't us.
Okay.
They don't operate from the same spiritual places we do. That don't mean they're not spiritual.
Okay.
It just means their frequency in their MO is different from our frequency in MO. And they leave a signature behind. It's like leaving a stench in your aftermath.
Reminds me of the song, They Not Like Us. They not like us.
Yeah, he know exactly what he's talking about.
I see.
The whole song is coded with history and monumental psychological breaks through the history.
Okay.
We looking at like everybody laughing at Drake. Drake a soldier because he's taking it on the chin because they thrashing him. He's the dragon that's supposed to be slain between the two pillars of Gemini. Reenacted in the public so the people can see what the stars is doing. So you have the Hollywood stars reenact what the stars in the sky is doing. That's mirroring what's going on in the spiritual realm.
Wow.
You give them you're trying to figure out a way to tell it to them. So you use the arts and entertainment because it's the most compelling thing you can do is create a compelling spectacle. And everybody love a good show.
Everybody. Chief, do you have time for questions?
We can take a couple.
A couple? Okay. Thank you so much for all the jewels you're dropping and the wisdom. I really, really appreciate this because I know you have a life to live yourself. Somebody had asked a question about with the Chevron case being overturned, what does that mean for people who went to jail for violating some of these rules that were created?
Right. So because the rules of the prison can alter your sentence, that's judicial jurisdiction. Your sentence is your sentence.
Okay.
Judicial jurisdiction is to hand down the sentence. The arbitrary extension of the sentence by the parole boards falls under Chevron. The flop system. See, they give you 10 to 15. You eligible to come home in 10.
Okay.
But if you violate the rules of the institution, you can't come home to 15. They call that flops. Okay. Every year you go up for a review after 10 years. And if you are not being if you violating their rules, they can add time onto your sentence. That's protected by Chevron. That's because those are prison rules, and the parole board flops is acting like judges adding on to your sentence, but it's not the same. Your minimum sentence you're supposed to get out, and at the end of your minimum sentence, it don't got nothing to do with what you do in there. But then they putting restrictions on them under their harsh on crime legislation, and then they open up the door for them to enforce prison rules by adding days onto your sentence.
So now that it's been overturned, though,
they should be more effective in fighting flocks, if nothing else. Because the judge the one sentenced you.
I see.
Right. The reason why they give you what they call your tail. So the 5 years after your 10 years, from the 10 to 15, it's called a tail. And the reason they give you that is that if they let you out, they need to govern you for a period of time, which is the duration of your tail, but they can terminate the balance of the tail at any given time if you can properly function in the society.
Okay.
Right? That's what that was originally intended to do. Now they use the tail as a way to enforce the jurisdiction of the prison system by adding time onto your sentence. Right? And then now you got people that go in there and they can't come home because it's so many rules. You can't follow all of them rules.
Okay.
And then after so long, you start going stir crazy. You be like, F they rules. And then you hear brothers like, they write the ticket. And then I give them extra time, but that's arbitrary for the ticket system to be tied to your release date when that's a judicial function.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much. Earlier, you said something about the totem pole, and that reminded me of a conversation you had where you and I had, where you said they fly flags, we stake totem poles. Can you explain what that means?
So flags is the Admiralty law origin.
Okay.
It was for the waters. Totem poles is for the law of the land. But the totem pole has the tribe's totem that's in the area operating, and you see more than one animal, that means you have more than one tribe in agreement to carry out their tribal functions on this land in harmony.
Okay. Right?
And the totem pole is how we show jurisdiction and who to contact if you're in the area. When they use flags is to identify a ship at a distance. The law of the flag comes straight out of Admiralty and maritime law.
Okay.
Right. Now, in order to resist the Admiralty and maritime jurisdiction of all of the flags, all of the rebellions around the world is flying the national flag in black and white form. Okay. And then they're using it to flip the code to the resistance. This is a global phenomenon. All of the tribes around Earth is involved. And then we only thinking that we the only ones active, and we not. Right? The Earth Alliance is the culmination of the Bandung Conference that was called by Sukarno. The purpose was to find a countermeasure to conquer this thing called white supremacy, which is the protocols of the wise men of Zion. And when that took place in the 50s, so we had to put some kind of process to break the stronghold of the tyrants that was controlling us around the planet, because it wasn't just one place. And if we don't never figure that out, we don't never get free. We stay in an infinity loop, repeating the same cycle till we figure it out. Break the infinity loop by exposing it. You flip it out in the middle. Right? Then you can jump dimensions from third to fifth, because the fourth was collapsed in on the third. So now you got to sleep, so you can live in 2 dimensions in one lifetime.
Wow. And I remember
Spirit smart. It used the dreams to tell you information to help you to navigate the real world.
So true. So true. And earlier, you and I were talking, you were saying what a lot of people didn't realize, like with white supremacy and all that, that wasn't even about, it's not even about white people.
No, those are legalese terms
Okay.
and chess terms.
Mm.
This is a Morris chess game, but it's played out in the human arena. Go back and watch this comedy about the Inquisition called History of the World.
Okay.
Oh, everything is exaggerated for you to get each piece.
That's deep.
But the human chessboard is sociology, the science of sociology, the way groups function and move and operate.
Okay.
The current sociological platform we operate from is discussed by a guy named Gustave Le Bon in a book called The Crowd. When you understand that if you can control the antagonist or the protagonist, you can control the crowd.
Wow.
So if you don't want the people to move in a certain direction, you get a sellout the money, right? But if you don't want